Hey everyone, welcome back to Smarty Spike. Today we're going to dive into the fascinating world of learning methods. You see, we're all unique in our approach to absorbing information. Some of us are visual learners, preferring to use images and charts, while others might find they retain information better through listening or hands-on experiences. And let's not forget those who love to read and write their way to knowledge. We all learn in different ways, and finding the method that suits you best can make a huge difference in your educational journey. First up, we have visual learning. This is a method that revolves around the use of visual aids such as graphs, charts, and images to understand and retain information. It's all about seeing and perceiving information visually to make sense of it. Imagine being presented with a complex data set. A visual learner would prefer to see this data represented in a graph or chart, rather than reading through a long list of numbers. Or consider a historical event. A visual learner might find it easier to remember the details if they're presented in a timeline or an infographic. Visual learning taps into our innate ability to process and remember images, which can be a powerful tool in learning. So, if you often find yourself doodling in your notebook, or if you can easily recall images and diagrams, you might just be a visual learner. If you're a visual learner, you'll find that pictures truly are worth 1,000 words. Next, we have auditory learning. This method is all about sound, rhythm, and speech. It's about tuning into the cadence of a lecturer's voice, the inflection in a speaker's tone, or the subtle nuances in a recorded dialogue. It's about engaging your brain through your ears, processing information in the form of sound waves. Imagine this. You're sitting in a lecture hall, the professor is speaking, and you're soaking in every word. Or you're listening to a podcast, your headphones are on, and the speaker's voice is painting a vivid picture in your mind. These are examples of auditory learning in action. This method is especially beneficial for those who can easily remember things they've heard or spoken. So, if you're someone who can recall song lyrics or movie dialogues with ease, or if you find yourself understanding and retaining information better when it's delivered verbally, then you might be an auditory learner. If you find that you absorb information better through hearing and verbal communication, you might be an auditory learner. Now, let's talk about kinesthetic learning. This is a learning method that truly gets you into the action. It's all about hands-on experiences and physical involvement. Imagine you're in a science class, rather than just reading about a chemical reaction. You're actually conducting the experiment, watching the chemicals interact right before your eyes. Or maybe you're in a history class, and instead of simply reading about a historical event, you're reenacting it, living the moments that shaped our world. Kinesthetic learning extends beyond the traditional classroom as well. In the digital age, interactive simulations and virtual reality experiences offer immersive learning opportunities. Whether you're navigating the human body in a biology app or virtually exploring the pyramids of Egypt for a history lesson, the key is engagement. So if you find yourself understanding and retaining information better when you're actively doing something, you might just be a kinesthetic learner. Kinesthetic learners thrive when they can touch, feel, and interact with the subject matter. Moving on, we have reading, writing, learning. This method is all about the power of the written word. It's about immersing yourself in the pages of a textbook, highlighting key points and jotting down notes. It's about summarizing complex concepts in your own words and using the process of writing to reinforce your understanding. It's about flipping back through your notes to revisit and review information. This learning method taps into the power of repetition and the ability of the written word to clarify and solidify knowledge. If you're someone who enjoys reading and writing, this method could be a perfect fit for you. It allows your learning journey to be intimately tied with the act of reading and writing, which can be a deeply satisfying and effective way to learn. So, if you prefer to learn by reading textbooks, taking notes and writing summaries, this might be your go-to method. Now, keep in mind, most of us have a blend of these learning styles. It's not about boxing yourself into one category, but exploring the myriad ways in which your mind absorbs knowledge. Try mixing and matching these methods. Perhaps you're a visual learner who also thrives on hands-on experiences. Or maybe you prefer to read and write, but find that listening to lectures enhances your understanding. The key is to experiment and discover what resonates with you. Remember, there's no one-size-fits-all when it comes to learning.